Have you ever felt that life is happening to you rather than because of you? That despite your efforts, the future seems uncertain, even uncontrollable? Imagine if I told you that the most powerful way to face tomorrow is not by guessing it or hoping for it, but by actively creating it yourself. Abraham Lincoln, a man who rose from a humble log cabin to lead a nation through its darkest hour, lived by this principle every single day. He understood that waiting for circumstances to decide your fate is a luxury no one can afford. The real power lies in shaping your path, step by deliberate step. Today, we're going to explore his teachings and discover how his wisdom can transform the way you see your own life. By the end of this video, you won't just be inspired. You'll have concrete ways to start designing your future. If you value growth, reflection, and the kind of mindset that builds lasting results, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because learning from the decisions of history's greatest leaders can give you a roadmap no one else can provide. Remember, your future is not a mystery to fear, it's a canvas to create, and the brush is in your hands. Have you ever felt that life is happening to you rather than because of you? That despite your efforts, the future seems uncertain, even uncontrollable? Many of us live under this quiet frustration, moving from day to day, waiting for opportunities to appear or for luck to favor us. But imagine if I told you that the most powerful way to face tomorrow is not by guessing it or hoping for it, but by actively creating it yourself. This isn't just motivational talk, it's a principle that shaped the life of one of the most remarkable leaders in history. Abraham Lincoln, born in a simple log cabin in Kentucky, faced unimaginable odds, poverty, and personal loss. Yet he became the man who would lead the United States through its darkest hour, preserving the Union and redefining the future of millions. His secret wasn't luck or circumstance. It was the conscious choice to shape his destiny, to act with purpose, and to persist even when the world seemed to be against him. Lincoln's life teaches us that predicting the future doesn't come from fortune-telling or waiting for signs. It comes from deliberate action, from decisions aligned with your values and your vision. Every choice he made, from studying by candlelight as a young boy to practicing law in rough towns, was a step toward building the life he imagined. And that is exactly what you can do in your life today. Your circumstances do not define you. Your willingness to take responsibility for your path does. Reflect for a moment. What areas of your life are you passively letting unfold instead of actively creating? Which dreams or goals have been pushed aside because you've been waiting for the perfect moment? Lincoln's example reminds us that the perfect moment rarely comes on its own. The perfect moment is created by action, by persistence, and by courage. In this video, we will explore how Abraham Lincoln's wisdom on creating one's own future can be applied to your life. We'll look at his decisions, his mindset, and the habits that allowed him to turn obstacles into opportunities. More importantly, we'll uncover practical lessons you can start using immediately to feel stronger, more focused, and more in control of the path ahead. If you are someone who seeks clarity in a world of uncertainty, someone who wants to move from reaction to intentional action, this video is made for you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because learning from history's greatest leaders can give you insights no textbook or seminar ever could. The future is not something that waits for you. It is something you build, and the first brushstroke starts with a single conscious decision. Long before Abraham Lincoln became president, he faced a series of failures that would have stopped most people in their tracks. He lost elections, endured business failures, and struggled with personal setbacks that would make anyone question their own abilities. Yet, rather than surrendering to despair or blaming the world around him, Lincoln treated each failure as a lesson, a stepping stone toward the future he wanted to build. He understood that the only way to predict the future is to participate in its creation actively, to shape it with deliberate choices, persistence, and careful reflection. He read constantly, debated fiercely, and sought counsel, always equipping himself with the tools he needed to act wisely when opportunities arose. The lesson here is profound. Your setbacks are not proof that you are incapable. They are invitations to refine your vision, sharpen your skills, and deepen your resilience. Think about your own life for a moment. How often do you let failures dictate your path, convincing yourself that your circumstances define your potential? Lincoln's example shows that no matter how many doors close, you can still build your own doorway. By taking responsibility, by learning from every mistake, and by choosing each day to take action aligned with your goals, you move from being a passive observer of your life to the architect of your destiny. Imagine looking back in a year, 5 years, or 10 years, knowing that you didn't wait for luck, for someone else's approval, or for circumstances to change. Instead, you built something meaningful, step by step, decision by decision. Even in moments of doubt, even when the world seems stacked against you, remember Lincoln's persistence. He faced personal loss, national division, and the constant pressure of criticism, yet he continued forward with purpose, creating a future that others believed impossible. And here's something to consider. If Lincoln, with limited resources and countless obstacles, could persist with such focus, what does that say about the untapped power you carry within yourself? Your future is not written in stone, nor is it something to passively wait for. Every choice you make, how you respond to challenges, the skills you decide to master, the people you surround yourself with, adds a brushstroke to the life you are painting. Reflect on this for a moment. What action can you take today that your future self will thank you for? Share your thoughts in the comments. Even a single step acknowledged and committed to becomes part of the momentum that propels your life forward. Lincoln's life reminds us that creating the future isn't a lofty ideal. It's a daily practice, grounded in courage, patience, and intentional effort. One of the most remarkable aspects of Abraham Lincoln was his extraordinary emotional intelligence. Known for his patience and ability to remain calm under pressure, Lincoln faced critics, rivals, and national crises with a mind sharpened by reflection rather than reaction. He understood that anger, resentment, or impulsive decisions would only cloud judgment and derail progress. During debates, conflicts, and even moments of personal grief, he exercised remarkable self-control, taking the time to consider his words and actions carefully. This ability to manage his emotions allowed him to see beyond immediate discomfort or criticism and focus on the long-term goal, creating a future defined by justice, unity, and meaningful impact. The lesson for you is clear. Your future is shaped not only by your actions, but by the quality of your decisions, and those decisions are strengthened by self-awareness and emotional regulation. Pause for a moment and reflect on your own responses to challenges. How often do you let frustration or fear dictate your next move? How often do you react immediately, only to regret it later? Lincoln's mastery of his own emotions teaches us that progress comes from pause and clarity, from choosing how to respond rather than merely reacting. By cultivating patience and awareness, you can navigate conflicts, setbacks, and uncertainties with a steady hand, turning obstacles into opportunities rather than stumbling blocks. Imagine approaching your own goals with the calm precision of someone who knows that every choice matters, who understands that acting out of anger or impatience is a detour, while acting with intention is a path toward the life you want. Consider this. The most powerful people in history did not achieve greatness through brute force or blind ambition. They achieved it by controlling themselves, by thinking clearly, and by acting decisively. Lincoln's emotional intelligence was his secret weapon, allowing him to build alliances, negotiate compromises, and make decisions that shaped a nation's future. You too can develop this skill. Every time you pause, breathe, and reflect before acting, you strengthen your capacity to create the future you desire. Ask yourself today, which emotions are guiding your decisions and which are sabotaging them? Share your reflections in the comments. Acknowledging them is the first step toward mastering them. Remember, the ability to shape your future begins within. A calm, focused mind makes choices that create opportunity, influence, and lasting impact. Think for a moment about your own life. How often do you wait for the perfect conditions to start moving toward your goals, to take action, or to claim the life you want? The truth is, the perfect moment rarely exists. What Abraham Lincoln's words remind us is that the future isn't something you wait to discover. It's something you create through your choices, your persistence, and the courage to act even when the path is unclear. Every step you take, every small decision, adds up to the life you will live tomorrow. Your setbacks, your fears, and even your mistakes are not signs that you are incapable. They are the tools, the lessons, the raw material from which your future is built. You have more power than you realize to influence what comes next. Consider how you respond when life doesn't go as planned. Do you let frustration or disappointment control your actions, or do you pause, assess, and choose the next move deliberately? Real resilience is not just enduring hardship, it's using every challenge as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to refine your vision. Imagine looking back a year from now and realizing that you didn't wait for luck, for someone else's approval, or for circumstances to be perfect. Instead, you acted, adapted, and created momentum that moves your life forward. Every failure you experience is a chance to strengthen your approach, every obstacle an opportunity to sharpen your focus. The future you want is not out there waiting for you. It is already being built by the decisions you make today. Now think about your relationships, your career, your health, and your personal goals. Which of these areas are waiting for you to step in and take leadership? Which dreams are on hold because you have been hesitating, doubting, or letting fear dictate your choices? Abraham Lincoln's teaching is simple but powerful. To predict the future, you must create it. You have the ability to influence every part of your life if you commit to acting with intention, consistency, and courage. Each day offers you the chance to take responsibility, to make decisions that align with the life you want, and to move forward with determination. Pause and reflect. What is one action you could take right now that your future self will thank you for? Consider sharing it in the comments. It's a small but profound way to claim control over your life. The life you want is not something that happens to you. It is something you actively shape. Every choice you make, every challenge you overcome, every time you refuse to let fear control you, you are constructing the foundation of your future. When you embrace this mindset, you no longer feel like a passenger in your own life. You become the architect of your reality. Lincoln's words are not just historical, they are a call to action. Your future begins the moment you decide to build it, consciously and deliberately, and the only limits are the ones you accept. Take a moment to imagine your life a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What would it look like if every step you took today was intentional, aligned with the life you truly want to live? Abraham Lincoln once said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." Think about that for a second, not as a distant ideal, but as a practical, actionable truth for you. Your future is not determined by luck, by circumstances, or by other people's decisions. It is shaped by the choices you make, by the actions you take, and by the vision you hold for yourself. You already have everything you need to start building it. Every small effort, every deliberate decision compounds into momentum that moves you closer to the life you deserve. Ask yourself, are your days guided by purpose or by reaction? How often do you drift through life letting events control your emotions and your decisions instead of steering your own course? Lincoln's teaching reminds us that clarity of vision is essential. When you know where you are going, even the challenges, obstacles, and doubts become manageable. They are not roadblocks, but signals that guide you to adjust, adapt, and keep moving forward. Imagine looking back a year from now and seeing how far you've come because you refuse to wait for permission, because you refuse to be a passive observer in your own life. You can start creating that reality today by setting clear intentions, making deliberate choices, and acting with consistency. Building your future also requires strategy. You cannot simply hope it happens. You must plan, prioritize, and align your actions with the results you want. Consider your current goals, your daily habits, and the energy you invest in different areas of your life. Are they aligned with your vision, or are you spending time on what feels urgent rather than important? Reflect honestly. What adjustments can you make now to steer your life in the direction you desire? Share your thoughts in the comments. Writing them down, even briefly, strengthens your commitment and helps you see your own potential. Lincoln's insight is timeless because it does not only inspire, it challenges you to take responsibility. Every decision, no matter how small, is part of the blueprint for your future. Finally, remember that creating your future is both deliberate and patient. Change doesn't happen overnight, but every intentional choice compounds over time. Every time you choose focus over distraction, courage over fear, and action over hesitation, you are laying the bricks of the life you envision. You are not bound by your past or limited by your circumstances. The only limits are the ones you accept. Pause now and think, what is one step, one choice, one action that you can take today that your future self will thank you for? Act on it, because the truth is your future is not waiting. It is already being built by you. The question is whether you will take the lead in designing it or leave it to chance. Life will inevitably test you. Obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt are not signs that you are failing. They are part of the process of creating the future you want. Abraham Lincoln, a man who faced poverty, repeated political losses, and profound personal grief, reminds us that what matters is not the adversity itself, but how you respond to it. Every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to grow, to strengthen your character, and to refine your vision. When life pushes back, when plans fall apart, or when others doubt your potential, remember that persistence is your most powerful tool. It is not about ignoring fear or hardship, but about moving forward despite them, learning from them, and letting them guide you toward better decisions and stronger outcomes. Think about the challenges you face right now. How do you respond when progress is slow, when results don't come quickly, or when the effort feels overwhelming? Resilience is the ability to rise each time you fall, to treat mistakes not as failures, but as lessons that illuminate the path ahead. Every time you get up after a setback, every time you choose to continue despite fear, hesitation, or fatigue, you are building momentum. You are proving to yourself, more than anyone else, that your future is something you can actively shape. Imagine looking back months from now and realizing that the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable were actually the very experiences that prepared you for success. Each challenge is not an enemy to avoid, but a teacher guiding you toward a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Persistence also requires clarity of purpose. Without a clear vision, obstacles can feel paralyzing, and setbacks can lead to discouragement. When your goals are defined, when your intentions are aligned with your values, challenges become stepping stones rather than barriers. Lincoln's insight encourages you to embrace this approach. Focus on the actions that bring you closer to your vision, and let every challenge refine your strategy, not deter it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can this difficulty push me toward better decisions and a more empowered future? Even the smallest reflection and deliberate adjustment has a compounding effect. Share your experiences in the comments. It's not just about talking, but about recognizing your own strength, building accountability, and inspiring others to see their own power. The truth is that your future is created in the everyday choices, the small acts of courage, and the determination to persist. Every setback you overcome, every obstacle you face, and every fear you confront adds strength, clarity, and confidence to the life you are building. Lincoln's words are a call to action, reminding you that the power to shape what comes next has always been in your hands. Today, choose persistence. Today, choose resilience. Today, choose to turn challenges into momentum. Your future is not waiting for you. It is already unfolding with every decision you make, and the only question is whether you will shape it intentionally or let it drift by. The future you desire is not a distant dream. It is built in the choices you make today. Every decision, every action, every moment of courage or persistence adds to the life you are creating. Abraham Lincoln's words, "The best way to predict the future is to create it," are not just historical wisdom. They are a personal challenge, a reminder that your destiny is shaped not by chance, by luck, or by circumstance, but by your own hands. You have the power to take control, to steer your life with intention, and to transform obstacles into opportunities. Every setback you face, every fear you confront, every moment you choose action over hesitation, is a step toward the future you are designing. Think back over your past. How many times did you wait for the perfect moment, only to realize it would never come on its own? What if, instead of waiting, you had taken small, deliberate steps toward your vision each day? Your life, right now, is the canvas for the masterpiece you want to create. You are capable of far more than you realize, and the path forward becomes clearer when you embrace responsibility, clarity, and persistence. Every effort counts. Every choice matters. Every act of courage compounds into momentum that moves you closer to the life you've imagined. The obstacles, the doubts, the fears, they are not roadblocks. They are the material from which your future is constructed. Now, commit to it. Decide today that you will no longer wait for life to happen to you. Decide that you will act with purpose, cultivate resilience, and persist even when progress feels slow or uncertain. Your future is in your hands, and you are the architect. If this message resonates, take one more step. Subscribe and like this video. Not because it's just a formality, but because choosing to engage with ideas like this reinforces your commitment to growth, reflection, and intentional action. Surround yourself with reminders that your life is yours to shape, that every moment carries the potential to create something extraordinary. Lincoln's wisdom is not distant history, it is a living principle, urging you to act, to persist, and to build. Your future begins the moment you decide to create it, and there is no better time than now to take that first step.